年嘅平安夜好似。
得你哋喺度咯。得你哋喺度。
其他人都有免稅啦，你要啦，你哋要啦，多謝。今日係咪會擺到12點？
係嘅。
處理呢個俾呢個梁振英。
總結一下咧，其實今日咧呢個街站咧就係由社民連嘅成員咧曾建成咧去營辦嘅民間電台咧去擺設嘅。佢就話咧，其實咧過往咧平日都會咧有擺設嘅街站啦，不過咧就特別喺呢個平安夜咧就更加希望喺個記利佐治街呢度咧去提醒香港嘅市民咧可以無忘政治犯啦，即係擺放啲燭光咁。希望咧係一個和平嘅方式繼續去發聲，因為咧依家已經有好多各種嘅限聚令咧，令到市民唔可以喺街上啊或者係發表一啲。
係拉我哋嘅後生仔，已經近1萬人啦。
都係話咧，覺得佢就話如果今日唔再發聲嘅話咧，被拘捕嘅就唔止係黎智英啦，係陳智英啊、李智英咁樣。意思係話每個人都有可能被拘捕嘅，到時候咧就再冇人咧去為大家發聲啦咁樣。咁喺呢度咧就會警方會派發啲信封啦，就係咧貼上咗現時看守所嘅地址嘅。咁咧在場義工邵先生咧，佢就有講到咧，就係話市民咧只需要咧去貼上兩個嘅郵票啦，就可以咧寄出呢啲心意啊。咁喺呢個信封裏面咧，其實咧就有擺咗一張心意卡啦，就可以去寫俾12個人嘅，張心意卡咁。市民都可以喺現場即場寫嘅。咁咧今日本身網民都有號召喺各區咧去舉行一啲燭光念嘅活動，咁但係咧都宣告取消啦。咁喺今晚喺尖沙咀嘅時候咧，就有警方咧就係警告在場嘅市民咧違反限聚令啦。喺九龍嗰邊都有舉起紫旗，不過咧就喺銅鑼灣街站呢度咧，就只係有警車停泊喺附近啦，都有警員咧去，有時候會向曾建成了解下街站嘅情況啦。咁但係就冇向警方發出告票，都係有不定有市民咧係會留低寫一啲心意卡啦。我哋呢個直播咧就去到呢度先啦。咁啊平安夜咧就大家都平安。
今晚暫時都未聽過話有啲乜嘢599G 嘅告票發過啦。我隔離大紀元嘅珍姐啊 fans 同佢打招呼啊！哦，又騰咗先。咁啊，其實暫時都係咁嘅情況啦，就到依家都冇乜特別嘅行動嘅。咁啊，我只係警方嚇。咁暫時就各區都未有啲乜嘢特別事件發生咁樣。咁啊，借呢個機會啦，真係同大家講聲聖誕快樂，新年進步。咁啊，係咯，如果冇乜特別，我都會收 live 先嘅啦，有啲乜嘢先再開嘅啦。咁啊，西西和你過同仁啦，啊，同各位講聲聖誕快樂。咁啊，多謝大家嘅支持。我今日漏咗講句喎。share， 不過緊要啦。依家做 live 咧都要左望右望噶啦嚇，即係阿西嗰晚喺元朗咁咯，啊打機會俾人襲擊咁樣樣，咩呢啲嘢都我哋都要諗多啲嘅，即係都要留意翻。點解要？咁好啦，冇乜嘢特別，有啲咩會即刻再開 live 同大家報道嘅。廣告之後馬上回來，聖誕快樂，拜拜。
はい、先生。
由於禁聚令仍然生效，喺現場採訪嘅傳媒請你佩戴記者證，而在場嘅市民請保持1.5米嘅距離。
你哋話個咪 V 混之後，我而家換咗咪，其實 OK 㗎嘛，合理㗎嘛，個聲響係咪合唔合理㗎？
वो तक नहीं है बार-बार ये रहा और ये आ रहा
Fight for freedom.
聚集嘅人士留意，呢個係警方向你哋發出嘅警告，請你哋唔好繼續逗留喺呢度，以及圍觀，否則你哋可能干犯咗有關禁聚令嘅罪行，你哋有機會會被票控。請你哋立即離開，唔好繼續停留圍觀。
個黃婆婆停低休息。
你咁樣褪開嚟咧，
我上呢個電梯再落翻嚟，俾你哋睇下呢度真係好多人。
就一就呢個就得㗎啦，就一就我就影到啦，轉面就得啦。
其實真係好多人出嚟啊，響街節。咁咧落嚟呢一程咧，你就可以睇到咧，喺呢度呢一帶啦，少數嘅制高點啊，因為呢一帶冇乜制高點㗎，你五支旗杆附近咧有都上唔到㗎，啊有都上去都好危險㗎。咁咧就我而家咧，哇呢度你睇下，呢度幾多人？幾多人影嗰個燈飾咁樣？睇下呢度幾多人？海港城呢度連卡佛。係啦，幾多人？全部都係人啊！哦。 家搭翻電梯，仲有一個呢度都要排隊啊！搭呢條電梯，海港城呢度好旺場，搭呢條電梯都要排隊嘅。咁咧就而家排隊落去啦。甚至乎咧，即係大家如果有出過去玩都知啦，即係影呢啲燈飾咧要排隊啊嘛。你影完之後就到另外一家影咁樣噶嘛，呢要等啊，呢度等。其實唔係好影到喎，因為呢度block 晒。哇！呢度都好多人啦，都影到啦，都有行到。好，差唔多2個鐘啦，我出翻去黃婆婆嗰度睇下咩情況。如果冇乜變化嘅話咧，我就會喺嗰度咧收一收機。咁我都會喺尖沙咀逗留多一陣。如果有嘢會再開直播或者再話俾大家聽啦嚇。咁都接近2個鐘啦。咁好多謝大家繼續收睇立場新聞嘅直播。好多謝大家繼續關心我哋嘅屋企香港啦。尖沙咀海港城5支旗杆2020年嘅平安夜，咁啊直播2小時就陪伴咗大家啦，知道大家都好關心條街嘅情況。咁其他區都有同事啦，好多好勤力啦，好盡力去報導嘅同事啦，就喺其他區份咁亦都有你見到有其他區嘅方式。咁差唔多啦，我呢度個直播2小時，咁睇翻黃婆婆呢度，如果冇乜特別變化咧，我都收機收直播，咁大家可以呢幾日啦嚇，雖然係公眾假期啦，咁新聞機構不眠不休嘅，咁咧就嚟緊呢2日都可以繼續留意立場新聞嘅報導啦。嗱，呢度繼續有好多警員啦、傳媒聯絡隊啦，就喺黃婆婆附近。好，咁咧我諗直播就可能喺呢度收一收啦。好，咁大家聖誕快樂，平安夜快樂，各位讀者觀眾晚安。
喺天星碼頭大型招牌前面聚集嘅人士留意，呢一個係警方向你哋發出嘅警告，請你哋唔好繼續停留喺呢一度以及圍觀，否則你哋嘅行為可能干犯咗有關禁聚令嘅罪行，你哋有機會會被票控罰款5000蚊。請你哋立即離開，唔好繼續逗留喺呢一度，聽從我哋警方嘅指示，立即。
係啊，佢企咗4個鐘左右㗎啦。
新過下啦，係啦，大家估知。
British businesses, lots of new non-tariff barriers. This is not to say the deal is a bad deal, but you're not selling it correctly, are you? You're mis-selling it.
No, well, I must respectfully disagree with you, because there is indeed a clause in the deal which is nothing like as damaging as it was, and is, in my view, neutralised, which says that if either country feel that the other one is in some way undercutting them or dumping in some way, then subject to arbitration, and provided the measure is proportionate, and that, I mean, independent arbitration, not arbitration by the European Court of Justice, but subject to an independent panel, they can, if they really choose, put on tariffs to protect their consumers and their businesses. And to give you an example of the kind of thing where that might occur, for instance, in the UK, we want to go further on animal welfare standards, and it might be that we do things, for instance, on how you rear pigs, banning sow crates and so on, that would incur extra costs for our pig farmers, and it might be that bacon coming from elsewhere from the EU was at risk of, therefore, of undercutting us. We might, under those circumstances, consider imposing tariffs. I think it's highly unlikely, but we might consider it. It would have to be subject to arbitration. It would have to be proportionate according to the arbitrator, and under no circumstances would we be in any way constrained, legally or otherwise, by anything that the EU did or chose to do themselves, nor, furthermore, would there be any role for the European Court of Justice. And for people at home who have zoned out while I've been talking about this, let me tell you, this is a very, very long day's march from where we were a few years ago. You will remember, Robert, when we were talking about basically having a common rule book with the EU and having dynamic alignment with EU laws, so that the UK was forced to keep up. And that has gone from this treaty insofar as the EU wanted it, and there is no role for the European Court of Justice whatever. So I think it's a great treaty. And as for your point about non-tariff barriers, yes, I think it's important to stress. What I'm talking about is barriers on the grounds of your plugs won't work in our country, therefore they're banned or whatever. That kind of technical barriers to trade, and there's a lot in this treaty to try to reduce all that kind of thing, make sure that doesn't happen. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for businesses and consumers, and in that sense, it's a great free trade deal. But I must stress to people getting ready for January the 1st that there will be change. So people will need their, get on the gov.uk website, exporters will need their AORI forms and everything else. People should be aware of the change that is coming. But there's also an opportunity, because for British exporters now, the whole world it will be treated the same for export purposes. And I think that would actually galvanise our exporters to think much more positively and dynamically about the opportunities that they have. So I must respectfully disagree with both the points that you made. This is a jumbo Canada-style free trade deal of exactly the kind that I think this country needs. And as I say, I believe it involves a long-standing and very, very difficult problem. People said you couldn't be part of a free trade zone with the EU without being obliged to follow EU laws. If you remember, people, I think there was I think we were told we couldn't have our cake and eat it, and that kind of thing. I'm not going to claim that this is a cakeist treaty, Robert, but it's because that. But it is. I believe. What the country needs at this time, and the right way forward for the UK. Let's go to Sam Coates of Sky.
Prime Minister, you say this is an unprecedented deal that observes all your red lines and promises to the country. Can people trust that life will be better as a result of this deal and that there won't be any disruption even in the short term? And can you guarantee the government won't end up reopening elements of the new relationship in the years to come?
Well, Sam, I mean, really good questions. I mean, short term, yes, as I said just now, there are things we have to get right. Processes that maybe people have to do that they need to be aware of, and I'm going to, that point really is worth reinforcing. I do believe that the freedoms that this treaty wins us, basically independence from the EU, are worth having. But and so free ports, free trade deals, being able to do, as I say, to look after your livestock differently, improving your landscape in a different way, doing all sorts of things differently, regulating financial services differently, chemicals, all sorts of things where we may want to do things differently and better. But I would just say to people watching this, and I'm sorry for disturbing Cars 3, by the way, to people watching this, I would say it's one thing to get freedom. Winning freedom is a fantastic thing, and that this is an important element of what we've done. But it's how we use it, how we make the most of it. That's what's going to matter in the months and years to come. And I've no doubt that we can do fantastic things with this treaty if we with this new relationship, which I think will be stable and proper for both sides. Let's go to Tom Newton-Dunn of Times Radio.
Good afternoon, Prime Minister, and thank you. A couple of quick questions, if you don't mind. Every deal means both sides have compromised. Do you accept that you have compromised throughout the last 11 months, particularly perhaps the last 11 days, from perhaps your earlier slightly absolutist positions, perhaps as a negotiating ploy? But compromise is not a dirty word. Do you agree with that? And secondly, can you address services? Because I haven't heard you say much about that. 80%, of course, of the UK economy. You say some British companies would do more trade with the EU because of this deal. Will the British service sector, especially the financial services sector, will they be able to do more trade or less trade?
Well, there's a first of all, on the compromise point, no, compromise isn't a dirty word, and unquestionably there are things that we've done to help our friends and partners to move things forward. I mentioned, I think, to Laura where we got to on fish. We started out wanting a very short transition period. Of 3 years, they wanted one of 14 years. We've compromised on that at 5.5. And on the vital services sector, yes, of course, they feature in this deal quite rightly. There's some good language about equivalence for financial services, perhaps not as much as we would have liked, but it is nonetheless going to enable our dynamic City of London to get on and prosper as never before. There's some good stuff about barristers, solicitors, lawyers being able to practice around the European Union. We will be able to continue to have massive and growing economic interpenetration without the need for what I've always talked about, this lunar pull of EU law. As I say, this is something that I think can benefit people on both sides of the channel. It'll be a healthy, dynamic, productive, happy, stable relationship. That's what we're aiming for. Let's go to George Parker of the FT.
Thank you, Prime Minister. You mentioned the change that will happen at the border in any event on January the 1st. I just wondered if there was anything in this deal where the two sides have agreed to introduce some sort of flexibility at the border to make sure we don't have chaos in Dover and Calais on January the 1st. And a second, more general point, you and I used to be reporters in Brussels, and we've covered the psychodrama of British-EU relations for a number of decades. Nigel Farage said today that the war is over. I just wondered if you saw it in those terms.
No, I think first of all on on the border and measures to there are all sorts of things in the treaty that what you will recognise about trusted trader schemes and special measures on sanitary and phytosanitary recognition and steps to make sure that things flow as smoothly as we possibly can. Though again, I stress there will be things that people have to do. Look, I mean, one of the great. The EU was and is an extraordinary concept, and it was born out of the agony of the Second World War, founded by idealistic people in France and Germany and Italy, who never wanted those countries to go to war with each other again, and other countries, Belgium, Holland, and others, and. In many ways, it was and is a very noble enterprise. So I don't recognise the kind of language that you talk of. I think that the UK's own relationship with it was always difficult. We always found some of the language about ever closer union, the idea of this political union, this very dense idea of this ideology of endless integration. We found quite hard. George, and I think you as a fellow Brussels reporter, you'll remember that there was quite a lot of friction involved. I think that what we've got here is the basis of a new long-term friendship and partnership that basically stays that relationship. And insofar as the UK needs to be, and always must be, a great European power, always must be a great European power, where they're outside the main body of the EU, but we're there as a friend and as a supporter, as a flying buttress, if you like, to make sure, as we have done so many times in the last couple of hundred years, that we're able to lend our voice when it's needed and to be of value to our European friends and partners in a strategic way. And that's what the UK will obviously continue to do. But I think the very dense programme of integration wasn't right for the UK, and that's why it was right to take back control in the way that we have. And I think that this deal expresses what the people of the country voted for in 2016, and I think there was a wisdom in what they decided, and I think that we'll be able to go forward on this basis. Let's go to Gordon Rayner of The Telegraph.
Thank you, Prime Minister, and Merry Christmas for tomorrow. Could I just ask, probably half the people watching this right now would have voted Remain in the referendum in 2016. Do you have a particular message for them? People today are tweeting that it's not what they wanted. They would rather have stayed in. What's your message to them? And just secondly, could I also ask you? We've had more figures today on COVID. You mentioned COVID earlier. Can you rule out another national lockdown after Christmas?
Well, Gordon, thanks. I think my message to everybody on both sides of the divide is of that argument in 2016 is I really think it's now a long time behind us, and I think most people that I talk to, whichever way they were inclined to vote back then, just want it settled and want us to move on. And I think this gives us the platform, the foundation for a really prosperous new relationship. And I would be very excited now by this deal. This European question has been going on for decades. From the new variant and the speed with which that's been spreading, we believe that we're going to have to get through this tough period now with, as I said many times, very tough restrictions with tough tiering, and you'll have seen what's been announced over the last day or so about that. And much as I regret that, I do think it is necessary for us to grip this virus now, to stop it running out of control in January. because we need to buy ourselves time to get the vaccine into as many arms of the elderly and vulnerable as we can. And that is the real way in which we will defeat the virus. So it's tough tiering, community testing, and rolling out the vaccine. And we're going to continue with that approach. And I know that it's been very, very tough over the last few weeks, and I must tell people it will continue to be difficult, not least basically because of the speed with which the new variant is spreading. But the vaccine is going into people's arms, and there really is, I think, hope, the certainty that we will have it defeated, as I say, by the spring. Or that's certainly what the scientists still believe, and they're still confident of that. So thanks very much, Gordon. Let's go to Harry Cole of The Sun.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Can you give us some more details about the new security arrangements with the EU? Are we going to be as safe next week under your new security partnership as we are today, given it's Brussels are saying that they're going to lock us out of live EU databases? And given you've locked us all up, how will you recommend we celebrate leaving the EU next week?
Well, Harry, look, I leave your manner of celebration entirely to you and to individual taste. I wouldn't want. I mean, I think the government done quite enough bossing people around and recommending this or that over the last 10 months or so. But on security and police cooperation, I'm absolutely confident this is a deal that protects our police cooperation, protects our ability to catch criminals and to share intelligence across the European continent in the way that we have done for many years. So I don't should have fears on that score, or indeed on any score. Let's go to Heather Stewart of The Guardian.
Hello, Prime Minister. Michel Barnier said today that we've decided to leave the Erasmus exchange scheme, which sent thousands of students to EU countries every year. I wonder what you'd say to young people who feel as though opportunities to discover the continent on our doorstep by living there or studying there or working there are being taken away from them. And secondly, just do you have a message for Keir Starmer, who will have to decide in the coming hours and days how to whip Labour MPs, whether they should support your deal?
Right, Heather. Well, look, on Erasmus, it was a tough decision. The issue really was that, as you know, the UK is a massive net contributor to the continent's higher education economy because over the last decades we've had so many EU nationals, which it's been a wonderful thing. But our basically mean that financially the UK exchequer more or less loses out on the deal. Erasmus was also extremely expensive. So what we're doing is producing a UK scheme for students to go around the world, and it'll be called the Turing scheme, and it will so students will have the opportunity to named after Alan Turing. So the students will have the opportunity not just to go to European universities, but to go to the best universities in the world, because we want our young people to experience the immense intellectual stimulation of Europe, but also of the whole world. And as for, I think you asked about which way should the opposition vote on this. Well, it's perfectly obvious, Heather. The opposition should vote for this excellent deal, and I would strongly encourage everybody to do the same. Thank you very much, everybody. Happy Christmas to you all. Thank you.
喺度啊！我哋企喺佢嘅附近啦，我哋企喺佢嘅後邊啦，好唔好啊？我哋見到Save 12嘅手足咧就仲喺度，咁見到外面咧就有一班嘅警員已經企晒喺度啦，準備好咧。我相信咧真係2點咧就會即將行動噶啦。依家仲有2分鐘咧就已經係12點啦。咁相信12點鐘咧真係 Merry Christmas 嘅時候咧，警方就有場啦。咁然後就發出呢一個599G 嘅告票噶啦。咁現場嘅人士啦，如果係睇緊呢個直播啦，又喺附近嘅話啦，咁就請小心你哋嘅安全啦。同時遠離嘅人群啦嚇。 阿波波你好啊，係啊，向佢致敬啊，收嗲。係，仲有1分鐘咧，就已經係聖誕節㗎啦嚇，可能見到真有頭畫面。12點，仲有2分鐘係啊。點解12點會行動啊？我覺得啫，我估啫，我估計啫。因為佢哋通常咧都係搭正啊，或者係搭3搭半咁樣呢啲嘅時間咧去 action 嘅。咁因為佢哋依家見到啦，鏡頭面前啦，5支旗杆嘅位置咧，本身佢哋企晒喺5支旗杆位咁，但係依家咧就企晒出去啦，攞埋 AV 機出嚟拍啦，2部 AV 機。咁同時間咧亦都有一排警員企晒喺度，咁相信係即將準備做行動咧，先會咁樣嘅部署嘅。咁同時間咧見到發光嘅展示牌兩側啦，其實都已經有一啲嘅警員啦，係形成咗一個包圍嘅局勢，咁所以先會話佢哋係就嚟行動啦嚇。知道啦，巴布多謝你啊，堅持鏟帶。嗱，我哋再趁冇乜人喺度圍住呢一個 Safe 12嘅手足嘅時候咧，我哋都影一影佢啦嚇。聖誕快樂啊！咁啊，聖誕快樂係咪要？